Hi there. If you're watching this video, there's a good chance that you volunteered for this year's Texas Regional Ethics Bowl. And if that's the case, thank you. In this video, I want to give you an idea of the responsibilities of the judges and the moderators. Let's take a look. Judges. When you open the envelope you received at check-in, you should find, among other things, a notepad and pen for making notes, and 3 score sheets, one for each round. Be sure to use the right score sheet for each round. Write your name at the top of the sheet and circle the appropriate judge number. That's determined by where you're sitting relative to the other judges. Wait for the moderator to flip a coin, and then fill in the first team and second team boxes at the top of the score sheet with the appropriate school and team names. I find it helpful to fold the score sheet in half along the horizontal center in order to keep the first and the second half of each round separate. The moderator will hand you a copy of the question that the first team, or presenting team, needs to answer regarding the case in question. As you listen to the team's main presentation, pay attention to the clarity of their answer, how well they attend to the central ethical dimensions of the case, and how effectively they convey their deliberative thoughtfulness when it comes to viewpoints that differ from their own. Write a score for each criterion in the appropriate box, and then add those numbers up and write the subtotal in the box outlined in bold. Next, you'll judge the second team's comments on the first team's presentation. That score will depend on how effectively the commenting team deals with the presenting team's arguments. Write that score in the appropriate bold outlined box. Then, you'll judge the first team's reply to the comments made by the second team, writing a score in the appropriate box. Next, it's your opportunity to ask questions of the first team, the presenting team. Remember, there are only 10 minutes for all 3 judges to ask a question and for the first team to respond. So please keep your question short and to the point. And remember, this isn't your opportunity to give a lecture or push an agenda. This is your opportunity to ask the team to elaborate on something they said, or to explore somewhat more deeply a dimension of the case that deserves attention. After the first team has responded to all of the judges' questions, write a score in the appropriate bold box. And now it's on to the second half of the round. The roles shift. The second team becomes the presenting team, and the first team becomes the commenting team. The order of things is the same as before, and the scores are recorded according to the same criteria as before. When all of the judging and number writing is done, pass your score sheet to the moderator, who will check your arithmetic and announce the results of that round. And that's how a typical round goes for the judges. Moderators, your job is to keep things organized and moving. You and your judges will be assigned a room, and you'll stay there for all 3 rounds of competition. Now we'll go through step by step your responsibilities in a typical round. At the end of the video, we'll provide a snapshot of the different timed periods in a round in one glance. Remember, all this information is available in the information packet you received from the Ethics Bowl director, and you can refer to it as reinforcement of the information you're about to receive. At the beginning of each round, once everybody from the 2 competing teams has arrived, it's good to announce the names of the schools and teams. Something like, in round 1, we've got Team Alpha from the University of Leeds going against Team Sigma from Newcastle University. Something like that. The team names and the schools should be visible on the table tents provided to the teams. Now, it's time to determine which team will present first, and thus, which team will provide opposing commentary. To do that, flip a coin. Of course, there's a coin flipping app, but if you don't have that, an actual coin will be provided. Ask the team closest to you, or if both teams are equally close to you, then the team to your left, to call heads or tails. The team that wins the coin toss is given a choice to present first or second. Now, open the envelope for that round. Inside, you'll find two smaller envelopes, the contents of which are top secret until the time is right. The smaller envelopes will be labeled according to the round number 1, 2, or 3, and the appropriate part of that round, 1A or 1B, for example. In the first part of the round, use the envelope with an A, and for the second part, use the one with a B. Inside the smaller envelope, you'll find several slips of paper on which are printed the case that will be used in that part of the round and the question that Team 1 should answer in its main presentation. Announce the case by number and title. Read the question, and then give a copy of the question to each team and to each judge. Now, it's time to start keeping track of the time. Feel free to use your smartphone or one of the stopwatches that will be available. Tell Team 1 that they have 2 minutes to confer before their main presentation begins. If they don't need that much time, you can move on to the main presentation whenever they're ready. If they take more than 2 minutes, the extra time is deducted from their main presentation time. It's a good idea to ask Team 1 if they would like any time notifications. They can request up to 2, and those can be given verbally or by hand signal. Notifications are usually given at the 2 minutes and 1 minute remaining marks. Then, set a timer for 10 minutes. That's how long Team 1 has to answer the question and to present their arguments. Once the 10 minutes are up, or the main presentation is over, whichever comes first, Team 2, the opposing team, has 1 minute to confer, and then 5 minutes to present comments or objections. Team 2 may request up to 2 time notifications. After Team 2 makes its comments, Team 1 has 1 minute to confer and 5 minutes to respond to those comments. Again, Team 1 may request up to 2 time notifications. When Team 1 is finished responding to Team 2's comments, or 5 minutes have passed, whichever comes first, the judges may ask questions. Judges have 10 minutes to ask questions and hear responses from Team 1, so it's important that the judges only ask one question and maybe a brief follow-up question. It's also important that Team 1 keeps its answers short and to the point. We want all 3 judges to have a chance to participate. You should offer up a 5-minute warning to the judges so they can stay on track. When their time is up, the judges should privately record their scores for the first half of the round. Then, once that's finished, the second part of the round begins. The teams switch roles. Team 2 becomes the presenting team, and Team 1 the commenting team. Open the small envelope, labeled with a B, announce the case title and number, read the question, and distribute the questions to the teams and judges. The timing for the main presentation, comments, replies, conferral periods, and questioning are all the same as before. Once the judges have recorded their scores for the second half of the round, they should pass their score sheets to you, and you should check their arithmetic and then transfer the information to your moderator's tally sheet. Transfer the numbers from the boxes outlined in bold on the judges' score sheets to your tally sheet. Once that's all done, announce the scores. Just announce the judge total numbers. Something like Judge 1, University of Leeds 45, Newcastle University 57. That's 1 for Newcastle. Judge 2 has University of Leeds 50, Newcastle University 48. That's 1 for Leeds. Judge 3, University of Leeds 42, Newcastle University 53. That's another 1 for Newcastle. Newcastle University wins this round. Something like that. Lastly, put the judges' score sheets and your moderator's tally sheet in the appropriate envelope. Seal it and sign across the seal. Hand the envelope to your student volunteer, who will deliver the envelope to the scorekeeper. Then that student volunteer will return with the envelope for the next round. I know it's a lot of information, but look, this is all contained in the information packet that you received when you checked into the event. And there are plenty of people around who can answer your questions and give you guidance if you need it. So thanks again for volunteering. The Texas Regional Ethics Bowl is the sort of event that a lot of people put a lot of work into, and it can only happen with your help. Enjoy!